So rumors are circling that a a fight between Alexander Volkov and Alex Poatan Pereira is within talks as of right now. Initial thought, what the fuck? Absolutely out of left field. Nobody was predicting this at all. Totally unexpected. Um, I think I have like one solid take that disproves that this fight is going to be made next for Alex, um, for both Alexes. And that take is that I don't believe I don't believe Alexander Volkov has a solid claim to towards being able to fight Alex Pereira next for his light heavyweight title. I think the only thing Volkov has going for him right now is almost getting a title shot, but losing uh, a controversial fight against Cyril Gane, a fight that he arguably won. I thought Volkov won the fight. Even Dana thought Volkov won the fight. He pulled Volkov aside as he exited the cage and told him so. It was a really controversial fight. Um, but yeah, I was not expecting this matchup at all. It's wild. It still is a little bit fun, but it's again the bottom line and the overall umbrella term for this matchup is wild. It's insane. It's unexpected, random, even not totally random in terms of like one fighter is like a can or some shit like that, but it's still random because nobody was expecting it. But nonetheless, if by God's grace, by some fucking lightning strike miracle, this fight was able to be made, let's break it down. Um, Look, first and foremost, I believe that Alexander Volkanovski is definitely going to get Alexander Volkanovski. What the fuck am I saying? First and foremost, I believe that Alexander Volkov is going to get knocked out at some point in this fight by Alex Pereira. I believe it's inevitable, uh, just given how Volkov likes to fight. On the other hand, I do believe that Alexander Volkov has a better chance of beating Alex Pereira than any of the top light heavyweight than any of the top light heavyweights currently. So I believe, in other words, I believe that Alexander Volkov has a better chance of beating Alex Pereira than Jamal Hill, than Yuri Prohaska, than Magomed Ankalaev, and that's about it. Jan Blachowicz, I think Jan Blachowicz has a good chance of beating Alex, and I'll set him aside for a different conversation. But when considering Magomed Ankalaev, Yuri Prohaska, and Jamal Hill, I believe Alexander Volkov has a better chance of beating Alex than all three of them. Why? It's just because of Volkov's reach and his arguable well-roundedness. That's why I believe Volkov has a better chance. Again, bottom line though, I think Volkov ends up getting knocked out at some point. And it's just because of how powerful Alex is and how well Alex is developing as time goes by, because Alex is adding more weapons to his arsenal. He's learning a lot more, and that is dangerous. You know, when it's just dangerous to see an MMA fighter doing that. So it gives me more confidence in him as he fights more and more. But yeah. I just think Alex is developing at such an alarming rate that I think, at some point in this fight, he's definitely going to be able to knock out Volkov. Especially given the three weapons that Alex can go to do so, which are the jab of Alex Pereira, the head kick of Alex Pereira, and the left hook of Alex Pereira. I think for this fight, I like the jab more than the other two weapons, just because of how rangy both fighters are. Volkov, I think, being a little bit more so. I think both fighters are tall, but I think Volkov does have the longer reach. And let me just go into why I believe Volkov has a better chance than the other three top light heavyweights. Again, it's because of his well-roundedness and his reach. Volkov has a really nice jab. And he's got a really nice striking package too. One that's been developing at a really good rate recently. And I just like that more than I like the wildness of Yuri Prohaska or the distractedness of Jamal Hill or the, for lack of a better term, arrogance of a Magomed Ankalaev. I think Volkov will go into this fight level-headed, rangy, and with some solid ground game as well. If he's able to force Alex Pereira to the ground, you know, I think that's a very dangerous spot for Alex Pereira. And Alex Pereira has been working on his grappling for some time. I think he needs a lot more time to get really better at it. So at this point, if this fight were to be made next, if Volkov was somehow able to bring Alex to the ground, that's a really, really, really good sign for Volkov, because Volkov can look for a lot of different chokes and execute them fairly well. So that's why I believe Volkov has a far better chance than the top three current light heavyweights, or a handful of the light heavyweights in the upper echelon of the division, which are who are named Magomed Ankalaev, Yuri Prohaska, and Jamal Hill. But yeah, let me go into specifically how I think this fight will go. So, like I said, Pereira is going to knock Volkov out. I think that's going to happen. Doesn't really matter how well Volkov is able to manage distance. I think it's inevitable that these two are going to get into an exchange on the feet. And when doing so, Alex finds ways, man. He finds ways, and he's going to find a way in that fight. There, of course, is the opposite possibility of Volkov being able to bring Alex to the ground, somehow being able to dodge the menacing power of Alex Pereira on the feet, and getting his arms around the waist of Alex Pereira to drag him to the ground, or maybe shoot a double leg or single leg, or however way he decides to bring Alex to the ground. If Volkov is successful in doing so, Volkov can chase a submission and basically shock the entire fucking world and get the light heavyweight title. And that would definitely put Volkov a fuck ton of notches up in the UFC rankings of fighters all time. to have a fighter go down in weight and do that to the face of the UFC is insane. But yeah, again, specifically, the fight starts out high intensity. Volkov is trying to manage range. He does a good job at that because he's the ranger fighter in this fight. And you know, can't really say that for a lot of fighters in comparison to Alex Pereira, because Alex is a tall fighter, but Volkov is really tall, you know. So yeah, these two come out. Volkov manages that distance really well. Alex looks for the jab. Alex probably lands the jab, and it probably starts out fucking up Volkov early. But Volkov is still able to, you know, hang in there. The fight may go to the ground once, but it might go a little late into round one, and Volkov will be able to bring Alex to the ground and get a little bit of control time. But you know, unfortunately for Volkov, he brings it to the ground too late in the round. The round ends with Volkov on top. In round two, I think the powerful jab of Alex Pereira makes Volkov more hesitant about bringing the fight to the ground, so Volkov tries to look for success with jabs and straight punches on the feet. Unfortunately for Volkov, he's not able to do so that well because Alex Pereira is utilizing a powerful jab of his own. And maybe I'll say round three is where the two get into a really nasty, a couple of really nasty exchanges. And the second one is where Alex is able to, I'll say for now, I might change the specific prediction, but I think for now, Alex is able to throw a check left hook as Volkov is reaching in for a double leg or just a standard takedown, and he sleeps Volkov out cold. And that's really it, you know? I think that's basically the play-by-play for this unexpected fight currently. So, yeah, again, bottom line, unexpected, still fun. There's a case for it, but there's still a larger case against it. That being that Volkov doesn't have a claim or a solid claim to challenging immediately for the light heavyweight belt. But you know, the UFC sometimes works wonders, and this may be like their version of an apology to Volkov for basically getting robbed in his fight against Cyril Gane. Again, bottom line, who really knows? Only time will tell. Yada yada yada. Overall, you let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But most importantly, subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll see you all in the next.